And it's beautiful. And it builds trust quicker. And when you're working a dog on long line, you can learn a lot about that dog just from the long line. Yeah. I love it. Do you do long line work?
I mean, yeah, but only at like a certain point. And now, usually when it comes to
we don't do long leash work the same way you do long leash work. You do more long leash work, kind of like organ tails, like that kind of stuff.
They do a lot of long line work. They're very raw in terms of they don't use e-collars. They don't use anything but a long line and a lead.
Okay.
And basically what Organ Tails does, for years, I believe Jonathan and Cole are the owners, and he worked under Buck Brannaman, who is the horseman.
Okay.
And so they applied what they learned from horses to dogs, and you would be amazed at how effective it is. They have an incredible Instagram, incredible following, and so much of what they do is feeling. So people who work with horses can understand that it gets a little bit deeper, right? Very calm.
Yeah.
No words. What you deal with is a lot of excitement, obedience, drive, all of that. That's what you're doing, but this is very different. This is interacting and getting more on an instinctual level with the animal, because if you look at dogs in a wild dog pack, they're not excited. They move and migrate together, but they're calm. And as Sherry always says at her workshops, I've heard her say this more than once, but it needs to be heard, which is, if there is, even in a wolf pack, if one of the dogs is chaotic, neurotic, excited, whatever, the rest of the pack will attack it and kill it because it's compromising the safety of the pack. So the natural way for a dog to be is calm. And so what you're doing is you're encouraging that calmness. Now, you can work your dog calmly, have them calm in certain situations, but then you can do the work, right? Because you're getting dogs that should be on a farm. You're getting dogs that, like all of these APBTs, they should be dealing with wild boars or whatever on the farm. Like, that's what they were bred to do. Let's be real. And there's nothing wrong with that. But afterwards, outside of work, they're calm. Right? So you provide one piece of the pie, which is that work.
The fulfillment.
And it's prey. It's excitement.
Yeah.
But that's only one piece of the pie. The rest of the pie is calm. Exposure. Just being neutral. More service dog sort of behaviors is what you want. And then being social, moving together as a pack. That's where the pack walks come in. That they're migratory creatures. They move together. And it fulfills something in dogs that, I tell you, I will have dogs, nothing fulfills them the way that a pack walk does. They go into this calm. It's really amazing. They go into this calm thing. They might be a little chaotic at first, and then you're asking for calm, you're asking for more calm, you do threshold work, you're asking for more, and then all of a sudden, you're also calming yourself down. And then you're on the walk, and you're just in this mode, and it's so beautiful. And you just flow together.
What's the most dogs you've ever taken on the pack walk?
In my neighborhood, I have done 11. But I don't do that anymore because
why?
There's so many off-leash dogs that have no recall. And it makes me so mad. And I love pack walks. I love them. I mean, that is just like, I've worked so hard on it. Because your pack walk is going to be crazy and chaotic if you are not calm.
Right.
So it actually makes you calm down, and you have to work on yourself a lot to be good at this.
We were just talking about that this morning. We were just talking about that exact same thing. How can you be a dog trainer if you don't have all your shit together?
No dog trainer has all their shit together.
But you should have a decent amount of it together.
You just know how to calm down. and you realize that in order for things to go well, for you to not get bit, for you to not have dog fights, internally you cannot be chaotic. Internally, you are always striving for balance and calm. We're humans. We're part of the human experience. It's never going to be perfect.
Sure.
And there are times we might be working a dog where we feel frustrated or we feel chaotic and it's doing nothing good, and we just put it away.
Is that how you deal with it? You just put it away?
Self-awareness
Sure.
is lucrative
Yeah.
for this job if you don't want to get bit or have a dog fight.
Yeah.
And self-awareness, when you start to realize how important self-awareness is, then you go, you know what, I think I'm going to go get some therapy. I mean, being a dog trainer it is a process. It is a self-journey of growth and healing.
Yeah.
Right.
The more we heal, the more effective we are with dogs and clients.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was after getting bit in the hand by that Rottweiler, I was like, oh, that was my fault. He's coming in here. I did absolutely everything wrong, and that's why he bit me. I approached him wrong. I didn't let him warm up to me. I just walked right up to him and tried to adjust his prong collar.
Oh, dear God.
And I went to, and we had been painting in the facility all day.
Yeah.
I hadn't worked one dog all day. My mindset wasn't in the right place. I approached the dog like an idiot.
You moved too fast.
I moved too fast. And he even gave me signs, and I fucking blew it off.
Did he give you the whale eye?
He did the calm.
He did the
He
stiff?
slowed down his breathing. He stopped.
stiff?
Yeah, stiffness.
Oh, hell no.
And then I had my hands on his prong, and he's got his handler with him too. And I go, he growls, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you wouldn't dare. He's looking me straight in the face, and I go and I let go of his prong, and I go to bring my hands away, bang, right at my hand. In the moment, I was fucking pissed because I had worked with this dog before, and I never expected this type of thing to happen. In retrospect, I'm a fucking idiot.
Your energy shifted.
Fast.
From the last time you worked with him, you shifted. Because there was painting, there was this, there was that.
Yeah.
And you were in a mode of get it done.
Exactly.
That is not how you deal.
Fuck no, I'll never make that mistake again. I will never make that mistake again.
You will see, before I even walk into a house, before I go on a pack walk, before I start to work with a dog, I stop. And I take a breath.
Yeah.
And then I self-analyze, how am I doing? So I know this is very Caesar. Okay, we can talk about that later. Okay. But one of the things he says, and obviously I don't agree with him in a lot of ways, we can suss that out. But he says, the first thing you do is, how do you feel? That's the first thing. How does the dog feel? It's not how does the dog feel and then how do I feel? Every time I don't care if it's a dog you've worked with. How do I feel? Okay. How does the dog feel? If you would have taken that moment, and this takes habit, but if you would have taken that moment, you would have been like, ooh, hang on. Let me go calm down a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me breathe. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what you said about meditating with your dogs, okay, might sound like some hippie shit.
I love hippies.
But there really is a benefit to this.
Yeah.
For everybody to get to begin the day with just practicing calm. Mm-hmm. To begin the day, I don't care if it's breath work, whatever it is, you breathe and you start to get to that nice, calm place.
Yeah.
When you met me at Bucks, mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that I tell people if they go to a Buck Brannaman clinic is you walk into the arena and it is insanely calm.
Yeah.
And it is so calm that it feels uncomfortable. I like to think, well, I know how to be calm. No. I walk in there and all of a sudden the calm it is blanketing me. I'm covered in it. And I just sit there. And there's like an internal struggle that happens, kind of like dogs when they're on the place board. Mm-hmm. There's this internal struggle that happens, and you're kind of like, you feel like weird. You're like, oh my gosh, and everything's calm. But I have no choice because the room is being commanded by calm. And so as I calm down a little bit more and calm down a little bit more, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. But then all of a sudden there's this moment, like a dog on a place board, where they're like, and I just move into the calm.
Yeah.
And that's how we should be. That's what dogs trust. That's what dogs are drawn to.
I'm never going to forget this. I'm never going to forget this ever again.
I told you she was dope.
Yeah, I like that. I like that approach because obviously I did it the opposite end of that spectrum and I got a hole in my hand.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, when I was thinking about it, like, yeah, I went into it, wasn't even thinking about the dog, wasn't thinking about how he felt or how even I felt.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, thinking about it, it's like, you deserve that fucking bite, you idiot. That's how it felt at the end.
I don't think you should talk to yourself like that.
But I deserved it.
No, because I think that you need to recognize and have some self-compassion that you're part of the human experience. You were accomplishing a lot that day.
Yeah.
You were getting things done. You were in a mode of work. But one of the hardest things as a trainer that I struggle with is being fast, being productive, and being calm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Because even when you jog your dog, right, we're similar. When we jog our dogs, their excitement level goes up.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to make sure that they can heel. We want to make sure that they can, follow first before we increase the excitement of a jog. But the same is true with us.
You know what?
Maybe
Honestly,
I should be nicer to myself.
Yeah, me too. Be nicer to yourself, Jeremy. You deserve it.
To have self-compassion.
I guess I am pretty
it.
hard on myself at times. I'm like looking in the mirror, like, get it together, motherfucker.
No, that's not how we talk to ourselves.
Maybe I am too hard on myself. I'm like looking at the man in the mirror, like, you better bring it today, sucker.
Yeah, but that's terrible.
No, yeah, you're probably right. That's not. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, no, you should. If you're going to talk to yourself, okay, so Sherry does a class. It's specifically for women, but men have asked for it. Okay, and it's called Wellness Unleashed. You bring your dog, you work your dog, but you get to the core, the emotions. And she talks about this book, and she talks about neural pathways in our mind, and she has you write out a bunch of I ams. Because there has been research done that how we talk to ourselves makes a huge difference. So we have the I am. So you write out, I am calm. I am balanced. I am strong. You just write them out, and then you start to talk to yourself differently. When you do that, it changes your physiology. It changes the neural pathways in your brain, and all of a sudden you're performing at a level that you never performed at before. So talking to yourself in the mirror like that is not effective for what you want. You're doing the opposite.
I guess I have such like a militant mindset about it, where it's like, I guess I drill sergeant myself in a way.
But that's many men, and because in our society, it is so taboo for men to actually be vulnerable or have emotions or address their stuff. And I think that's not okay. I think men need to feel comfortable to be vulnerable and to grow. Because if you do research on what true masculinity is, it is not this fake, tough, hard exterior. Dogs don't even like that.
Yeah.
It is authentic, real, vulnerable. And just because you're vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak. I personally think the more vulnerable you are, the stronger you are.
Yeah. I'll change my mindset a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe we should put you on this couch. We can do a whole therapy session for Jeremy.
He can lay down.
Therapy sessions for Jeremy. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
But I mean,
I'm thinking about it way too hard now.
But I mean, going back to dogs, right? With that moment when you got bit and you're like in a rush, you're trying to get things done. Like honestly, when I was thinking about it, when I got bit like that, it's because I was in a rush and I was trying to get things done.
Rushing is the number one reason.
The dog messed me up. I got scars on my chest and my rib cage because I was trying to hurry up and put him in the kennel in my car because it was time to go, and I wasn't even thinking about the dog. Like I was just like, just get your ass in there.
You were thinking like, I got to get home.
Yeah.
I got to do this.
Yeah,
I got to
exactly.
do that.
Wasn't thinking about any of that stuff, and all of a sudden it's flipped on me real fast.
Man,
So-
with all this new information, today's going to be wild. It's going to be way different. I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Yeah. Slowing down with the type of dogs you guys work with.
Yeah.
I mean, like even with my shepherd that I got, Larry David, his mind is out the door and down the street.
Yeah.
But I need to bring him back to me. And part of how I do that is I calm, slow. If they want to go fast, I go slow. Slowing the mind down. We need to slow our mind down. So when we slow, that's a lot of what Oregon Tails does as well. It's very meditative, it's very connecting. But as we want our dogs to slow down, we want them to slow down. But how are we going to get that result if we don't slow ourselves down because they're so interconnected with us? So they feel everything we feel, and you've seen this with clients where their dogs resemble them.
Yes. Yeah. Especially feeling hasty, too. During some group classes, I can tell people feel rushed, and then they push through exercises that we set up for them like too fast, and then you can tell their dog's like getting frustrated. And
How do you slow the dog down when the dog's not fulfilled?
So if you have a client that is not fulfilling a working dog, is that what you're saying?
I mean, not to say every dog's a working dog, but every dog needs some level of fulfillment somewhere,
Correct.
right? And so if the dog's not getting that fulfillment, how do you ask the dog to slow down?
I love Oregon Tails. I'm going to go back to that.
Sure.
You know, Sherry teaches a version of it. I know that they do things a lot differently than the way that she teaches it, but she has applied it to what she does.
Sure.
And if I showed you, it is uncanny how quickly the dog calms down. I mean, it is an easy exercise. It is simple, and it's effective. So I would start off with doing some of that
Yeah.
and long line work.
Yeah.
And I give clients the ability, I don't want to overwhelm them. So I tell them, obviously, in my opinion, and we may have a different opinion, I think all dogs should be walked.
Okay.
I think that migration, exposure, I don't see a dog fulfilled more than a walk.
Okay. That's
Okay,
fair.
so I do believe that all dogs should be walked,
Yeah.
and I do believe you can work through reactivity. I believe you can do a lot of different things. Okay, but outside of a walk, I ask my clients, depending on their situation, I take into account what goes on at home. I give them homework, and I ask them to do 2 10 to 15 minute sessions per day because I don't want to overwhelm them.
Sure.
Now, I find, even with my board and train dogs, that consistency always trumps length of time. So if you're training your dog twice, 3 times a week, 4 hours at a time, nothing is more effective than consistency every day.
Yeah.
And so I try to make it manageable and easy for the client.
yeah, that's we do talk about that. Like, hey, go home and practice. If you don't, we'll tell. Like, at least put 15 minutes in.
That's really all you need. Like that 15-minute time, that 15-minute window.
Oh, yeah.
If you do that every single day from the time you get a dog till however long, it's the difference in the dog is night and day. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's 15 minutes. It doesn't seem like a lot, but building on that 15 minutes every single day is huge.
Small changes lead to large changes
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
And
You
our
do 15 minutes a
clients-
day, you won't even need me.
Yeah, and it's easier for clients to digest this because they think they have to do 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
you
at
know,
least an hour a
we
day.
speak German to our working dogs. You need to
They work an hour a day every
do
day.
4 hours. They're working dogs. No.
9.
Oh, no. Yeah, the majority of the dogs that come through here, you really only need to work them 15 minutes a day. Like,
Yeah. It does a lot. And I mean, even if I were to show you how I do e-collar, your mind would be blown.
Would it?
Oh, yes.
I need to know more now.
Elaborate,
Yeah,
please.
verbalize that for us real quick.
I first started learning e-collar years ago. I did an e-collar course with LA Canines with
Okay.
Colleen Stuckloff.
Uh-huh.
I started with her, and we did a lot of different things. She was anti e-collar, but now she has a video out where she's like, "This is amazing.
Really?
This changed everything." Oh yeah,
You don't
and
say.
she's like, "It accelerates the training process." Sure does.
Yeah.
Right. But I do something that most balance trainers can't even fathom. It's called.
Don't leave me in
I
suspense.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's called low stim.
Wow. That's revolutionary.
And it's not punitive.
Yeah.
It's a tap on the shoulder.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I can do my working level between a 1 and a 10 on Dogtra.
You use Doctor?
Yes.
I was just going to ask you.
1600s or
I was going to ask you what your.
I tend to do, like for my clients, I have small hands, so I prefer to do and Colleen got me stuck on the IQ Plus. Although I have the one, I saw the remote there, I have that one too.
Okay, I have all of them, but go ahead.
So I like the dial because one of the moves that I do, and I don't know if you do this, when I'm working with a dog, and I just did this the other day, this pitty, super reactive, right? And so we're out on a walk. The dog is, the psychological threshold, right? So we have proximity. The psychological threshold's going up, and I learned this little thing from another trainer. And, ooh, it's good. Hold down continuous and slowly turn the dial. So the dog is like, their ears are up, their chest is out, and they're about to react, but you got to get it before then, right? You don't want them to get over a psychological threshold. You slowly turn the dial with continuous. And their body softens. And then you can give them a command. Let's go.